Tick tock, tick tock.
Bitcoin is up nearly 50% over the past 3 weeks as it's achieved its highest level since early May 2021. But with multiple signals flashing on many time frames, is Bitcoin in store for one final dump before the all-time high pump? They say if you want to be a crypto millionaire, you have to learn to love getting dumped on. Well, call me John McAfee, because this little chalupa is ready to make a mess. I'm your host, Shelby Sharks, and they say there's only 3 guarantees in life: death, taxes, and getting dumped on. Absolutely very big. After a so far explosive nearly 2 weeks of this new month of October, Bitcoin is up massively and actually got very, very close to touching on those previous all-time highs. However, with multiple technical signals flashing on Bitcoin, is it potentially time for a dump down to this specific level? First, before we begin the absolutely trouser-bursting 6-digit moon mission for Bitcoin. So if you guys do the channel, make sure to like, subscribe, turn on those ghost notifications to never miss these absolutely time-sensitive alerts. As well, if you're interested in joining our ADA pool and earning some rewards, make sure to watch the 3-minute tutorial below. And for any other bonuses, make sure to check out the pinned comment as well. And without any further ado, let's pump on in. Wow, so we're going to be jumping into some Bitcoin TA today. For the last week, a lot of the time of my videos I've been devoting to news because there's been a lot of interesting news. And I have little segments at the end where we do some TA. And what I said a lot about a week ago is that when we get a pullback, don't actually be surprised if we breach 50K and actually maybe even go all the way down to about 48K. So with that being said, now it looks as though we have breached very much to the upside, and 60K resistance is the perfect level for a little bit of a pit stop and a potential pullback here that could last 1 to 2 weeks. And this is something we're going to be watching every single day. And we're going to be looking into this, and I'm going to pull up the charts in a second here, but Bitcoin flashed a counter trend signal that suggests a pullback is likely. Okay, so if we take a look here, Stockton here expects a 2-week period of sideways consolidation that could include a 16% pullback before Bitcoin's long-term uptrend continues, which I absolutely believe we're in a long-term uptrend. And actually, if we would take a 16% pullback from, let's say, the top of where we topped out so far, 16% would actually put us right about exactly at 48,000. So I absolutely already agree with this because, as I've been saying, 48,000 is what is a level I've been talking about. Specifically, I was talking about it about 5 or 6 days ago when I was doing a little more Bitcoin TA, but I haven't been doing as much Bitcoin TA here. But Bitcoin's 33% rally in October, so for the past almost 2 weeks, has put crypto very, very close to its all-time highs and into overbought territory. And according to Katie Stockton of Fairlead Strategies here, put it into a range where she's advising her clients to hold off for about a week or two after a DMARC 13 signal flashed for Bitcoin, which is just an indicator signaling a short-term top here. So the counter trend exhaustion signal suggests a 2-week consolidation phase in the store for Bitcoin, which could include a pullback to its cloud support level near 48,000. Again, I came to that number with different TA. I don't use the DMARC 13 indicator they're using here or anything like that, but 48,000 is something I was talking about as recently as 5 or 6 days ago. So that makes sense to me, and so I agree with those levels here. And with that being said, it would completely leave the current uptrend completely intact. So again, of course, if we breach below 50,000 US dollars, you are going to hear the bears who have been getting a lot of hate online, okay, because Bitcoin it just went through a 2-week pump, right, of about 50%. So obviously the bears have been getting a lot of slack. So they will absolutely, and rightfully so, absolutely return that back to the bulls if we breach 50,000 over this next 1 to 2 week period. For anybody that's been in the market, this is something that happens multiple times per month. For a couple of weeks, the bears will squeeze the juice out of the bulls, and then the bulls, turn the bears into a punching bag for a few weeks. It's a back and forth. It's never one way only. Ultimately, it's a one-way bullish trend because historically Bitcoin has just been in a mega bull market for the past 10 plus years. But throughout the month, there are multiple times where bears are winning and then bulls are winning, and it's a back and forth. And it looks as though it's more likely than not that we could actually see a little bit of a downturn considering how bullish Bitcoin's been lately. And that downturn will allow us to go much higher later on this month and especially the last 2 months of 2021. We would liken this signal to the one that was generated in January. In January, the same counter-trend signal flashed right before Bitcoin fell 25% from 40 to 30K. It lasted about 3 weeks before Bitcoin went on to print new all-time highs for 3 consecutive months. And that is exactly the situation that we're looking for here. So with that being said, what they're referring to is this right here. You see this nice little run-up, this little pullback, retested 30, and then blasted off. And remember, altcoins went absolutely bananas in this range, and that's exactly the scenario I think we're going to be seeing here. Bitcoin's going to take the lead over the next 1 to 2 months, on the closer side of those 1 to 2 months, and then very likely altcoins will go absolutely bananas. And like I've always said, to me, that's the most exciting part of bull markets, is that final few weeks where altcoins just go ridiculously, absurdly parabolic and are extremely overvalued. But again, that's where the biggest gains happen, in that final little glimpse of the bull cycle. So that's something that lines up with their predictions here. It makes perfect sense to me. And yeah, I just agree with it. Again, not financial advice. This is just my opinion. I am just a person making videos on YouTube, so always keep that in mind. But as well, Bitcoin 60K resistance hints at a buy the dip opportunity, basically meaning we could have a little bit of a dip here. That would be a buy the dip opportunity before we continue higher. Bitcoin's liquidity is changing, and it could mean that holders get a fresh buy the dip opportunity. If we just skip through a lot of this, with as low as 45,000 still in play, according to this article. Remember, I said 48. 45 is $3,000 below that. And keep in mind, targets actually usually go a little bit higher and lower than expected because of this current market sentiment. So if I say 48, am I going to be shocked if we see 46 or 45 in a wick and then, ultimately hold at 48? Absolutely not. Okay, that's 100% rational. In fact, that's more possible than just finding support exactly at 48. But this sums it up really, really briefly here. In short, this resistance area may matter, but months from now, it won't. Okay, so pretty much this short-term pullback that I've so far talked about the entire video, if you're going to be involved with Bitcoin for more than the next month, then it's not that important, okay? I'm talking about a short-term move today. A lot of my recent videos have been more longer-term, and today, just because we're seeing some of these signals flash, I figured let's make more of a short-term video. And with that being said, I believe Bitcoin's down a little bit since I actually started filming the video here, but if we take a look on here, let's even just take a look at the 6-hour chart. There's some clear bearish divergence here, and it's been diverging ever since about a week ago on October 6th, October 7th. You see the RSI declining here in the overbought zone. You see that on the 6-hour chart. You see the same exact thing on this 4-hour chart here. And we can actually take a look at the 1-hour chart to see if we're seeing something similar. Yeah, for the most part, yeah. We were setting higher highs here with Bitcoin's price, and the RSI was falling as Bitcoin was doing that. But yeah, there are multiple time frames where it's just very clear that Bitcoin easily could see that pullback. Ultimately, mega support would be right about here, again, right at 48. We have the 21 and 50 right there converging. We just actually got a bullish cross within the last few hours here. Okay, so right at this area, again, this would be a back test of this macro level of resistance we found for multiple months. Again, it's also previous long-term support. So 48, I think, is going to be huge. If we actually got a breach of 50K down to 48, maybe even a little bit lower than that in a wick, again, that to me is exactly what this article says, a massive buy the dip opportunity. Because if we're looking at long-term trends, Bitcoin is in a very bullish trend right now. And the bears are having trouble coming to terms with that, having trouble accepting that. I read thousands of comments every single day. I have a pretty good gauge on sentiment. I read way more comments than I want to. And I spend literally probably like 30 minutes to an hour every single day just literally hitting block on scam accounts, which now that we're talking about it, I will never message you on any app, okay? I'm exhausted. I'm not going to reach out to you. The only 2 social media accounts I have besides YouTube are linked in my YouTube. Twitter and Instagram, the 2 linked in my YouTube channel. Every other social media account of me is not me, okay? I have hundreds of impersonators across quite a few different apps at this point, quite a few different social media sites, and pretty much everyone who has a sizable following on crypto YouTube or crypto Twitter also does. So there are hundreds, thousands of impersonators out there. Never respond to them. They're just trying to steal your crypto, okay? I am never going to message you. I'm never going to go out of my way to send you an email or anything like that. The last thing I want to do is send more texts and send more messages. I've been exhausted doing that for like 10 months now. Okay, so I mean, just coming straight from me, I'm not going to do that. So, but yeah, with that being said, you can see here again, beefed up support zone right around that $47,000 to $48,000 level. And again, I'm not saying there's not 100% confirmation just yet, but we're going to be seeing this shape up 100% before the weekend comes. And it looks as though Bitcoin's short-term momentum is shifting more towards a little bit of a pullback. We just had two very big green monthly or weekly candles up again, nearly 50% after again, those like 6 straight very green weeks as we were recovering as well. And all of that with the DXY also having another higher high for the first time. Again, the highest it's been since last year at this time. So to sum it up, brace yourself for a near $10,000 pullback over the next 1 to 2 weeks, which would still be 100% healthy. If you have been in markets, you understand that back and forth pump and dumps are normal, healthy, and expected. So with that being said, if we see a move like this over the next few days, that is not bearish. That's bullish consolidation. And I still absolutely 120,000% believe we're going to be hitting that 6-digit Bitcoin, potentially even before December. So if you guys are new to the channel, make sure to like, subscribe, turn these guys to these absolute time-sensitive alerts. If you're interested in joining our pool, earning rewards with your ADF with no risk, make sure to watch the 3-minute tutorial below. It takes just a few minutes. And as well, if you're interested in any of their bonuses, make sure to check out the pinned comment below. And without any further ado, this is it for me.